Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be playing RaceRoom for my first time ever, as I've heard some good reviews of it from LaBrocca Sim Racing, or else known as Ben, and Chris Rogers Sim Racing, who I've watched many of their videos and it looks great, so I thought, why not give it a go. So here is my first ever race on RaceRoom. Hopefully it goes well, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So it is a Mazda MX-5 race at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. It's a 15-minute race and I've qualified 4th out of 7, so not too bad, especially with minimal practice. So here we are then, off we go, that goes green. We stick to the inside line and immediately we've got a better run than the car on our left there. So we should have him into this first corner with the inside line. It's a very, very tight first corner. So we are into the braking zone. We take it nice and tight. We get a bit of contact from the car behind, and then inside we give him a squeeze. He has to back out, but then he switches to the inside. We have to leave him the room, and we're through, but we haven't lost or gained any positions. Now into this corner, you can see the red and white car so close to rear-ending us there, but luckily no contact. So now we follow these cars through. We've got a bit of space behind, just a little bit, and we've got a bit of space in front. Maybe the cars ahead will make some mistakes. As long as we don't, we should be fine as we get a little bit wide, impacting our entrance into the next corner. But we get through alright. So here we are going into this nice sweeping corner, a little bit banked. You stick to the inside where it is banked, and there's loads of grip. I get a little bit wide, but no incident points, so not out of the limits. You can see me weaving just a little bit, trying to get the tyres nice and warm as we go into the wide chicane and onto the short back straight. Here we go then into the left-hander. Look at the two cars ahead getting really wide there, having a bit of a fight. They're nice and close. The one car gets up on the grass, but they're still nice tight. And if you look in the rearview mirror, the car behind us gets really wide into the gravel, and that has lost him at least 5/10 there. But luckily for him, he managed to hold it steady and keep it going. Now into the chicane for the first time on this first lap. We get a little bit wide. We managed to slow it down and keep it going though. And in the end, not too much damage there to our time. So we get a nice tight exit, but just a little bit wide as we get an off track there and a lap invalidation. So here we are then. Here's a replay of those lap 1 mistakes and contact. So off the line, as you can see, we pull up trying to get into the slipstream of the black and orange car, but then pull as far to the inside as possible, defending off from the car behind us, and hoping to get a good entrance into this first corner, nice and tight, to maybe gain a few positions. And as you can see, we get up into 3rd for the time being, but then the car on the inside contact, we squeeze him, he has to back out, but then he pulls to the inside and he gets us with a good switchback there. Nothing we could do about that one. Then into this first corner, you'll see as the red car misses his braking point, nearly careers into the back of us, but luckily he doesn't, and we managed to keep racing. So here we go, down this next short straight into the left-hander. We defend to the inside a little bit, thinking he might have a go, but he doesn't, so then we pull back to the racing line, and we attempt to get a good, clean run through those corners. Into the next left-hander, a bit further into the lap now. And then into the right-hander, we see the car behind us get very wide on the exit, into the gravel, then the grass, but he manages to keep the steering wheel and car steady, and he rejoins safely without any spin or crash. So all good for him there. So now as we rejoin on lap 3, we are on P4, just like where we started. And we're going through the chicane, coming into the final corner. We get a little bit wide, another incident there. We just managed to wrestle the car and keep it going forwards, but then we get wide into the final corner, have to hit the brakes so we don't go all the way onto the gravel. But in that, we've lost at least 3/10 to the car behind and 3/10 to the car in front. As we head down the main straight, we go into this first corner. Again, it's very, very tight. We come across here. We get an incident there, so we must have accidentally just cut the corner a bit there. Just a bit too much. But 8 out of 30 incidents, so not too bad at the moment, as long as we keep it clean for the rest of the race. As we come into turn 3 here, get it wide, looking to come in. But as you can see, we get the wheel hooked up on the curb, and that's us around. Spun round into the off-track bit there. And just a silly error there. Trying to take it too tight, not enough speed. And we get hooked up on the inside of that curb, and we are spun round. As you look here, yeah, just that front left wheel getting hooked up on that curb, and we are off the track. So lap 5 then, we have dropped that 1 position from the car that overtook us there, but it's not too bad as the other cars are still 6 seconds, nearly 7 seconds behind us, and 1 car has been disqualified. But as you can see, we come into turn 3 again and trying to take it very wide there, but there's yellow flags ahead, and you'll see as we come around this corner how close we actually are to Fanboy in front. So he must have made a mistake there, we're not sure, because he was maybe 10-15 seconds ahead, and he must have made a mistake there. As we get a little bit wide again onto the grass, making our entrance into the next corner very tight, as we go back onto the slightly kinked back straight. And then into the sweeping corner, the slightly banked sweeping corner. Follow around, we get a little bit wide, we have to go slow to make sure we keep it on the track, which we do. So here we are then, here's a replay of Fanboy's incident that we didn't quite see, but he comes into turn 3. Maybe he made a spin like us, but no, it doesn't look like it. So then it must be into this corner. So he cuts it a bit, he hits that curb, and he gets sideways. He nearly manages to save it, but when he gets on the brakes, his car flips over and rolls. And that's him off the track into the wall. But I think lucky for him, no damage. But then unluckily, we've managed to gain it now. So lap 7, we're in still P5. We've gained a little bit of time on Fanboy ahead. He's 4.6 now. As we come onto the shortish back straight, you'll see these yellow flags there, and you can see him just squirm off. Yellow flags, and he's off into the wall. So there we are, a free position for us. As Fanboy off another mistake, another silly mistake, and he's off into the wall, out of the race. He's probably fuming as he rage quits, he leaves the race, and there's 2 DNFs now. So here's a replay of what actually caused him to spin off track there into the wall barrier. So as he comes up, he brakes, he turns in maybe a little bit too much, he gets a bit of oversteer, he tries to correct it, and after that he's just a passenger as he goes into the wall. So we've rejoined then on lap 9, we're P4 still, and there is a minute left of the race here. So in this coming lap will be the final lap. We've just got to keep it clean, hope for no silly mistakes or errors. But as you see, as we come in here, I just seem to lose a bit of focus. There's a break on the grass. We end up steaming in too hot into the corner. We go wide and we straight into the wall. And from that video, you can see the impact we have as we hit the wall. I try to move the car, try to steer and reverse, but the car just doesn't want to move and it's toast. That is our race over. So here it is then, the replay of that crash. A very silly crash as we only had this final lap. We had a ton of time behind us and a gap, but we just get on the grass, losing focus, come into this corner too hot, and we can't get the car stopped in time, and we're into the barrier. What a silly crash.